Good afternoon. Hello, hello. I don't think this crazy is, I guess I'm on. Yeah, I hear a little feedback. It's so fabulous to see everybody today. What? Well, there's too many little buttons up here for me to figure out. Does that work? All right, that's good. Okay, now I'll sound like I'm out on the playground or something. Anyways, I promised that I would get this show on the road on time this morning or close to it, so it's 12:05. Please feel free to get your food or get seconds or thirds, desserts to your right. Yeah, my right, your left. Anyways, hello again. I am so excited to see some faces that I haven't seen for a while. So thanks to those wonderful people that came today. I'm Linda Farkas, and I'm honored to be your 2022-2023 president of our club. And thank you for joining us today in person and also online. At this time, I would ask if you're able to please stand for the pledge, followed by the four-way test and the invocation for today will be by Katie. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it be beneficial? Will it be beneficial for all concerned? Thank you. Katie?
I know it's always kind of jarring when you see me come up and do the invocation because it doesn't really gel with how some of you know me, but I had some thoughts. As we kick off our Chili Open today, which we know helps to fulfill the dreams of our campers at Rotary Camp, and as we hear from Scott Reed about the reinventing of Cascade Locks Park to be an art-forward metro park area, let's think about the passion and hard work these endeavors encompass and those who lead us. So I was thinking of Jim Valvano, who was the NCAA coach who gave up the speech, Don't Ever Give Up, at the ESPY Awards in March of '93, and who was suffering from cancer at the time. And he said this: when people say to me, how do you get through life or each day? It's the same thing. To me, there are three things we all should do every day of our lives. Number one is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number two is think. You should spend some time in thought. Number three is you should have your emotions move to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day, and you do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special. So I urge all of you to enjoy your life, the precious moments you have, to spend each day with some laughter and some thought, to get your emotions going, to be enthusiastic every day. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said, nothing great could be accomplished without enthusiasm. To keep your dreams alive in spite of whatever problems you have, the ability to be able to work hard for your dreams to come true, to become a reality. Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. That was wonderful. Everyone may be seated. Thank you so much. Karen was our greeter today, and she's very enthusiastic also because, again, we have some of our old friends back with us.
Hello, everyone. We just have two guests today. The first one is my fellow Leadership Akron classmate, Lisa Mansfield. You want to wave and you want to say a couple minute words?
Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Mansfield. I feel like I'm already home. I see so many faces that I know. So I was invited by Katie, and it's a pleasure to be here. I work for Judge Stormer in the probate court. Some of you I know from my weather vane days, some of you I know from my school board days, so, and from Leadership Akron, so it's great to be here. Hi, it's seems sunny in here, right?
Yeah. It's sunny, it's just not warm.
Yeah.
Wait 5 minutes, to Ohio, the weather will change. And then our other guest is Scott Reed, who we will hear from shortly. But do you want to say any words to start with? Just
Oh,
hello?
you're gonna be tired of me before the end of the.
Okay.
Thanks, Karen. And we do have our district governor-elect back in the back, and we're so happy to have you here. It's Julie, and she's doing a phenomenal job as district governor-elect. So good things to come next year. So good, Julie, to see you. So it's great to, again, to be here. We want to go quickly through our announcements in order to afford our guest speaker full time. David Hall, real quick, tomorrow night?
Yeah, tomorrow night, Wednesday the 19th, 4:30, 6:30, Akron Food Bank. If you can make it, we still can use you. Afterwards, we have a social at Block 15.
Thanks so much. Jerry, do you want to give a real quick update on your mom, please?
My mother, as you know, is not to be put down or she won't even lie in the bed. When the nurses are not around, she gets up with her walker and walks around. Her knee will heal in 6 weeks. Afterwards, there'll be several more weeks of recovery. She's in great spirits and says,
Great, good news. And a thank you to Bella and to Dan. The spaghetti dinner Saturday night at Messiah Lutheran Church. All the funds that were gathered that night go directly to the Akron Rotary Camp, and they raised over $1,400 on Saturday night. So that money goes directly to the camp. So thanks to Dan and Mella for being there. Next week, we'll have an induction, so please make certain that you return. We hope that that everyone will be here again next week. Don't forget the flyer on your table. Real quickly, the camp is having a Halloween trick or treat on the 31st, 5:30 to 7:30, and they're looking for candy donations. So if you have any questions, I'm quite sure Mella will be able to fill you in. And with that, I'm going to, if there's no other quick announcements, I'm going to turn it over to Jerry. Just so you know, we dispense with Happy Dollars because this is our chili open kickoff. So, I'm sorry?
We're not doing $50. Can I just make a quick announcement?
Absolutely.
Everyone that has signed up for Greeter Indicator, the consistent folks too, appreciate the help. And now that I'm in this role, I know how much work Dave Hall put into getting the Greeter Indicator lineup in place. So thanks to everyone that stepped up. I have a list here of the remaining slots available through the end of the year. If I'm going to pass it around, it would mean a lot if anyone that hasn't greeted or indicated before wants to put their name on the list, or again, if you're one of the regulars, feel free to do so too. But great opportunity for newer members or anyone that is just looking for a reason to be here in person again and get that routine back in place to sign up and be a part of it. So I'm going to pass that around with a pen. I'm not as fancy as Dave. I don't have the clipboard with me, so I'll have to, add that to my repertoire for the board. That's it. Thank you.
Ms. Julie. The only announcement I have is I was at the Zone Conference in Chattanooga, Tennessee about a month ago, and I have a very special presentation to my favorite bow tying Rotarian. We did not have a Rotary bow tie.
Thank you. Now I have one. So there you go, everybody. Roger told me to hold it up. Thank you, Julie.
Julie, I think I'm jealous. You want one?
Julie, I think that's interesting because X number of years ago when Dr. Rugg was our president
Yeah.
and I went to whatever it
Yeah.
was, I brought him back a bow tie. So it's a tradition that we're keeping going. So good deal.
Thank you,
Okay,
Julie.
Jerry.
Okay, we'd like to welcome Scott Reed. He is the Executive Director of the Cascade Locks Park Association, part of the Summit Metro Park stretching from Lock 10 to Lock 16. Since starting in with CLPA in October 2021, Scott has worked to activate the park space, bringing new thoughts, energy, and programming to one of Akron's most historic districts. Prior to joining CLPA, Scott served in the for-profit sector in various finance, sales, and operations positions in the manufacturing, financial service, and real estate development fields. Scott also was a project manager for the Better Block Foundation and a facilitator for Leadership Akron. And he has quite an impressive list of activism in local non-for-profit agencies. He has 2 sons, and if I may ad lib, he's really, really good at cooking hot dogs and veggie burgers at CLPA when they have free lunch Fridays. And I know someone who is here who has enjoyed Scott's chef wizardry. So Scott.
Well, thank you all. It is an incredible honor to be here tonight, or this afternoon. A little intimidating to be speaking in front of my father, even more intimidating to be speaking in front of Stu Perry. Stu, a few years ago, gave me my second job ever over at Akron Welding and Spring. Stu, I still look at Milwaukee Tools and think that those are probably best out there. So thank you for that. As Jerry mentioned, I am the executive director of the Cascade Locks Park Association. We stretch from Lock 10 to Lock 16 along the towpath. So basically from the Mustel store on the north all the way up the hill, up north, or up south rather, to the Interbelt nightclub. And the mission of the Cascade Locks Park Association is to preserve, protect, and promote our industrial, commercial, and cultural heritage. We have a little bit of a complex way of the way that things are set up. Cascade Locks Park Association really in itself doesn't own a whole lot, and we don't control a whole lot. But we operate in a space where we are working daily with the city, with Summit Metro Parks that own the vast majority of the parcels of land that we're on. We also have the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, the National Park Service, the Wheeling and Lake Erie Railroad, First Energy. Basically what we have is a whole lot of really, really big entities, and we're this little tiny voice who's just trying to put together an idea of how this space could be activated and used. One of the people or one of the organizations that I'd really like to point out is the Knight Foundation. About this time last year, we approached them for a very small grant, about $2,500. About a month later, they came back to us with $25,000, and I said, what are we going to do with this? And they said, you figure it out, just to activate the space. So that was a bit of a challenge. So what does activate a space mean? And I started really digging into some of the basics and really got into what defines a park. I had never run a park up to this point, and so the more basic I was able to get, then the better off I was able to understand what I was working with and what we could do with it. And so for me, what defines a park is what a park is and what a park does. And what do I mean by that? What a park is the physical spaces that are in there. In our instance, it's the towpath, it's the Mustel store and museum, and it's a few other things that are in there. What a park does is the activities that take place in there. And we have, over the years, done 4 real signature events, with the Lock of the Irish right around St. Patrick's Day, Duck Derby, which is usually in the summer, and then Oktoberfest, which is our Oktoberfest celebration. And then as Jerry alluded to, we also have our Free Lunch Friday, where we have live music on the front porch. We whip up some hot dogs, some veggie burgers. Every once in a while, we have some celebrity volunteers, such as Jenny and Jerry, come down and give us a hand with that. And so those are the things that we in the past have been doing. But I realized that maybe we are not the best people to define the space because we know the space too well. And so very early on this year, we started bringing in an awful lot of artists. And our attitude was, this is your stage. We will provide a place for you to come in and do your thing. And hopefully we'll be able to grab some additional traction. We'll be able to activate that space as the Knight Foundation told us that we needed to do. And so sure enough, earlier this year, we had the Rubber City Jazz and Blues Fest down. We had hundreds of people, a lot of folks who had never heard of the Mustel store, never been down to Cascade Locks Park Association. Even better, we had a number of people come down there who were utilizing the space in a different way than they have in the past. So we do, how many people are familiar with our area? Been down there. Okay, so what do we have around the two houses? We have a fence. And one of the things that we have been really focusing in on are what are the purposes of a fence? What does a fence do? Well, it either keeps things in or it keeps things out. And if you don't have anything in there, that only leaves one thing for a fence to do, and that's to say, stay out of here. And so we had some picnic tables back in that fenced-in area. And for months, I had never seen anybody back there. And if I did, it was very quick, very short, out and done. We moved those up right on the towpath outside of the fenced-in area. And within 5 minutes, we had butts in seats. People were using that space like they had not been using it before because they didn't feel welcome. Rubber City Jazz and Blues Fest comes back there, and get back, we have a band back in the fenced-in area. We took down some gates to promote a little bit more flow in there, ran into some friends who had said that they had been by there on the towpath hundreds, maybe thousands of times, but never felt like they were able to go into that space until there was a band back there. And then a few weeks later, we had a play, Josie Jones, who's just an absolutely amazing, amazing artist. She debuted a play back there, and it was at night. It was the first time that we had really had anything going on back there at night. And we realized just how much traffic flow there was on the towpath because they were all coming from Lock 15 Brewing that has minimal parking, or at least not enough parking according to the demand that they have. And so they were using our two parking lots. And so that led us to wonder what could we do in order to promote going back and forth over the bridge onto the towpath, what sorts of things were needed, particularly in lighting back there. And then also, Doug, you'll be interested in this. We did sit down with the city. We're working on getting some on-street parking over on North Street, both as an opportunity to slow down the traffic and also give Lock 15 Brewing some additional parking spaces. So as Katie alluded to, and I'm very happy to see that there are none of my board members in here, going forward, now I have an opportunity to say this is where our strategy is taking us and get it out in the public without my board members being able to get up and say, wait a minute, you're moving way too fast. But we are going to become an art-centric park. We want to have visual art. We want to have permanent sculptures. We'd like to have a lot of programming going on in there. One of the things that we're going to be doing is to be putting in some murals on the towpath itself. Two reasons for that is, one, it gives people a reason to come down and stop at our place to see what sort of things we have. But also, as you're coming down from downtown, it's a long downhill stretch right in front of the Muscle store. Bikes get going very quickly down there. We have pedestrian cross traffic going back in there. And so it's very dangerous, particularly for the pedestrians as well as for the bike riders. And so what are murals going to do down there? Well, it's going to cause people to slow down, not necessarily to look at the art, but just because it's a broken up, fractured area where they're going to say, I need to slow down to make sure that I'm not running into anything in here. We have overcome a little bit of resistance from the board. Right before the Duck Derby, we started talking about doing some of these murals on the towpath. I had one of my board members absolutely love him, but he's very structured in the way that he looks at things. And he came up to me and he said, Scott, you're screwing up. Asphalt is one color, it is black. And I said, okay, you know what? We're going to be doing this Duck Derby. We're going to have chalk artists come in and we're going to do some murals on the towpath. If you don't like what you see, wait until the first rain. It's over and done with. But in the meantime, at least you have an opportunity to look at it. Maybe 15 minutes into the event, he came up to me and he said, Scott, you screwed up. There are only 2 chalk artists down here. We need a lot more. And so that was just a matter of proof of concept that we can really do some different things with the same space that we've had. It's just utilizing things differently. And I think that we have underappreciated what we have. The last few months has really given me an opportunity to truly appreciate the embarrassment of riches that we have in incredibly talented young artists here. And what I'm realizing is that they need a voice. They need a place, they need a voice. And that is what we're trying to give them. We're also realizing that the artists have been very siloed off. We don't see a great number of artists joining Rotary. We don't see a great number of artists going through leadership development programs like Leadership Akron, like Torchbearers. And I think that the more that we can get their attitude, their creativity of not only the way that we could use spaces, but the way organizations could function in the future, then I think that that is just going to be to the betterment of our community, and I'd love to see that. So, Jerry, you haven't given me the wave off yet, but I'm more than happy. I know that everybody is waiting with bated breath as far as the Chili Open is concerned. I don't want to hold you back any longer than that.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I'll give you an easy one. You referenced Lock 15.
Yes.
And next to you, and I'm not sure how familiar some of our people would be with Lock 15, how it interfaces with what you're doing and all that.
And Lock 15 has been a tremendous partner for us. Lock 15 Brewing Company is not only a great brewer, but a fantastic restaurant. Doug Cole's son-in-law is the head chef and co-owner over there, and have really gotten an opportunity to work with Carl quite a bit. And they've just been fantastic. I think that it was, about 6-8 weeks ago that one of America's Best Restaurant shows was filming over there. The beer is good, the food's better. So don't tell Joe that I said that, but and so really Lock 15 has been fantastic. Our Locktoberfest event, we had 200 or 300 people there. All of the food except for the bratwurst, Kyle donated to us. And so we were just incredibly appreciative of that relationship. We are really trying to work as hard as we can to help them out and become a little bit of an economic development force over there.
Two more questions. Karen?
I just was reading the other day that they finished the connection from Talmadge, the Liberty Trail, and just thought, is it connecting to where Cascade Locks? And are there opportunities there for wayfinding and that? Because I think that's exciting to bring another whole group of people down.
Yeah, my understanding is that that comes in right by Spaghetti Warehouse. And so it's a little further south of where we are. But certainly the more people we can get in, then the better off things are going to be.
I thought a couple of years ago there was talk of a ropes course or zip line. Did that not materialize?
That did not materialize. We need to, at least in my mind, stay mission driven. If you take a look at what our mission is, that we talk about promoting, just picking out two words, promoting Akron's cultural heritage. And so I think that that's strayed a little further away from that. I think that the arts, and in talking with Jenny over the past few months, when I told her that we were going to have the Rubber City Jazz and Blues Fest down there, she was thrilled. That's what her original vision was, that it wasn't just a museum, that she wanted to see things more dynamic, more alive than that. And certainly dynamic and alive with the zip lines would have been there. That's just maybe a little bigger than we needed to bite off. At least my understanding. That was a few years ago.
Thank you so much, Scott. And here's
Thank you all.
Thank you from Rotary.
Julie. Oh, would you like to?
Not necessarily, it's just, I failed to bring it to you in a timely manner when Steve was president. That's an award we received over the summer.
Okay, this is the.
It's the A.Z. Baker Award
Right.
from districts.
Yeah.
And Steve actually would have received it for the prior year. So
Right.
it's actually the president for him.
Yeah.
Rob. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So that's your A.Z. Baker Award.
Yeah.
What's it for?
It's for a whole bunch of things. It's a whole slew of criteria, like raising new memberships, getting involved with the district's educational programs. There's a whole lot of criteria list that you have to apply for, and Akron was one of the folks that got approved.
So, pat yourself on the back. Good job. Good job. And Rob, it's good to see you in person. Julie brought a bow tie for Dave Miller.
Yeah, I got a rotary bow tie added to my collection today. Nice surprise.
And I told Julie, I said, we've got something going now, because when I went to wherever it was, I brought you back one. So we'll have to keep it going. So that was good to our bow tie people. So that's so much fun. So it was great. Scott, he's eating lunch. Okay. That's okay. I understand eating afterwards. So that was great. And Jerry, thanks again. And please send to your mom our thoughts and prayers for continued wellness. So I hope that everybody got an email from Terry Dalton. Terry did a very nice invitation for the meeting today. So I see Terry's online. So Terry, thank you for sending out that email, making it personal. And I thought it was special. So it was like, heck yeah, I'm coming today. So thanks, Terry. It was a very creative idea. So thank you so much for doing that. That's greatly appreciated. So at this time, let's see. Oh, hello, my phone. Why is it talking to me? I thought I turned it off. And I did. I guess somebody else is with me and I didn't know. Connor, do you want to do the raffle real quick? Is that okay? And then we'll turn it over to Dan, and he's going, and Mela, and Amanda, and Doug, and Cindy's not here.
Dan, Jeff.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah, I wasn't here last week, but Cheryl won it all, won the progressive pots that we're starting fresh with a fresh deck here. Winner of today's lucky lotto is gonna get 3 big ones. And if you happen to win the progressive pot, you'll get another $4, I think. So it's big money today. Scott, would you do us the honor of picking our today's winner?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You said you're gonna match the winnings, right?
Yeah, that's right, I'm gonna match personally.
You gotta borrow that one from Dr. Rob, I think. Is that-
Yeah, he's the International Bank of Rotary, Dr. Rob. Sorry, so our winner, thank you very much, Scott. 228783. 228783. Thank you, all right, Tom, all right. I told you I picked you the lucky one. All right, there you go, your winnings. That's right, that's right. Thank you for that reminder. Tom is selling next week. Okay. 2 clubs, all right.
Very good.
Well, congratulations. Thank you very much, thank you.
Okay, Dan, it's all yours and your Chili Open crew.
Great, thank you. Sorry, I'm gonna trip over a cord, but I feel like I gotta get up here to the mic. Wow, sure is great to be in a room full of people and just here. You know, as I prepared my head for today's thoughts, I am extremely hyper aware, you know, that we just raised $780,000 for camp, for capital projects. And at my table, I just raised $60 for Halloween. You know, we're doing great things. But, you know, the Chili Open is so critically important for the success of our camp on an annual basis. It goes into our operating budget. And, you know, over this past year, as we get in this post-COVID world, or this new COVID world, I don't know what we call it anymore, but camp has never been so important to our families. You know, our kids are getting out. This is their first time this past summer for many of them, you know, socializing and interacting with others, and we're seeing the gap. And it's also just really important for our families to have that respite and that need, the care for that we do so well for our kids, so that they can take a break, take a nap, go to dinner, you know, spend time with their other children. So, you know, what we're doing right now is just so important. And I'm going to tell you, you know, we gave away an unprecedented amount of scholarships this past year. So far, year to date, we've given out over $100,000 in direct financial assistance. And that is a large part, you know, we're able to do that because of what we do here for the Chili Open. So, you know, again, I know, here's camp again, you know, with their hand out, you know, but really, you know, this club's commitment to our organization is just phenomenal and so appreciated. And I promise, once we get through the Chili Open, I won't ask for any money in the month of March, because we got a polar bear jump too. So, so that's what I got, you know, but thank you so much for your commitment. I'm excited. The weather is Chili Open perfect. I pulled out my vintage Chili Open shirt, so I'm glad to see some others out there. And I'll turn it over to our, who am I turning it over to? The video. Where's the video, Amanda?
I'm the last person, this is one ask for that. You have to do Brian, he's our tech with this.
No screen sharing, so we're going to see it here. That's about it.
That was a lot of snow. And should send out a kudos to Bob Meisinger for all of his work moving that snow. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. In the spirit of Halloween, you are up to $80 of I'm Jeff Sheets, and along with Cindy Kane, we are co-chairs of the 2023 Chili Open. And in the spirit of the Chili Open kickoff, as Dan said, you will have snow in your cars as you walk out of here today. Cindy and I are honored to again serve as co-chairs for the 33rd annual Akron Chili Open Golf Classic. The event this year is going to be held on February 4th, 2023 at Hale Farm and Village. Dan touched on how important the Chili Open is to the Akron Rotary Camp. If you'll read real quick or take it home, the Chili Open provides significant operational camperships for families who otherwise would not have the opportunity to send their child with special needs to camp, to Rotary Camp, which never allows the inability for a family to pay for their child to attend the camp. I think that's very important. They never turn away a child, ever. And again, I think that's very important. This is Rotary Camp's main fundraiser to benefit the camp. It represents 30% of the operating costs to the camp's annual budget. That's a big number, 30%. And we're coming in after a year of the regatta, where again, we guys raised a boatload of money. So it's going to be a little bit even of a tougher challenge this year. Our 2022 event was another record-setting year of $361,744 that we raised. Our goal for 2023 is $350,000. I would like to see that at about $375,000. It's going to be a tough number, but I think we can get there. With every Rotarian's help, we know we can meet this goal. It takes a Rotarian village. We have 132 active members. We can do this. Again, we are very grateful to Wayne Holmes, who have been the corporate Chili Open presenting sponsor since 2002. That's 20 years. George and his team have been just wonderful to us. As you walk in the door out here, there's a Rotary banner that says service above self. There's a couple gentlemen in here today that Scott mentioned, his dad Roger and Stu Perry, that if you want to talk about giving back and service above self, spend a few minutes with these gentlemen after today's luncheon. They'll tell you how rewarding that is. There are many key areas to making the Chili Open a success. This is where your help is needed. We have corporate sponsorships and camperships. The corporate sponsorships and camperships represent 75% of our goal. Letters will be mailed to the past and prospective sponsors. If you're a past sponsor, please consider renew, or increasing your support. me read that last one, or increasing your support. If you helped in soliciting key sponsors in the past, we'll be reaching out to you again for your help. There is a copy of the sponsorship benefits package at each table. Another area, the raffle tickets. Last year, we raised $57,700 selling 2,885 tickets. Pretty incredible. I want to thank David Miller, who's taken over that the last couple years, for all the hard work he did. Yeah, thank you, David. We look to all Rotarians to purchase or sell a minimum of 10 tickets. They're $20 tickets, that's $200. That's not a lot. Hit up your family, your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors. I'd like to see you double that. We have a great success with Rotarians pushing their sales to family, friends, and business associates. We are grateful to Vanderveer for their 11th year supporting us with a car. Their partnership donating a new vehicle as the #1 raffle prize every year for the last 11 years. In order for Vanderveer to donate the car, we must sell a minimum of $40,000 in raffle tickets. We are finalizing the raffle ticket prizes, and we'll have tickets for distribution in the next couple of weeks. Another area, the online silent auction. Last year, we raised $18,796 in the silent auction. We need your help in securing some great items for auction. This is real key. This is very key. The more gifts, the more items we can get, the different kind of gifts we can get is gonna help us tremendously. Many of us have relationships and connections with individuals or companies that can provide the following: getaways, experiences, brewery packages, sports packages, restaurant gift certificates, bottles of wine and alcohol, gift cards, gift baskets, whatever comes to mind. It all helps. A couple of weeks ago, Cindy and I really started making calls to our fellow Rotarians asking for help in these key areas. Thank you to the following who answered our calls and said yes to helping: Jim Redmond, Thane Billow, Hugh Allpeter, Steve Bossart, Dr. Doug, Christina Horak, Karen Herdlicka, I apologize, Karen. Did I do it all right? Thank you. Ann Jorgensen, Tom Knauer, Brian Corsarco, Ryan McCauley. I got these Invisalign in and I hate them, so I apologize. Gina K. Maddox, David Miller, Tamara Mora, Dan Riemenschneider, Mark Seward, Mike Scherer, Laura Smiley, Cheryl Warren. If I missed anybody, I apologize. If you're not on that list, please let us know where you can help. Thank you. In closing, I'd like to call up the biggest ambassador to the Chile Open and the Rotary Club of Akron that I've met since I've been here. He needs no introduction. Jim Redmond, would you please come up? Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. It's great to see everybody. 33 years, we should have that Phil Collins. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. We're gonna have to play that tune this year because I can always kind of feel it coming in the air. So, hey, congratulations again to everybody with the camp for the regatta. I continue to think that because this Chile Open has been around for 33 years, it's allowed the things that are all happening at the camp now in the last 10 years to happen. Without the Chile Open, maybe the camp never survives to see the transformation that we've been going through for the last 10 years. Pretty cool when you think about it, going all the way back. I forgot to wear but I pulled out my Chile Open coat, which I now wear for the rest of the season. Can you see that at home? Terry, Dalton, can you see that? Okay, so don't leave home without your cards. We have the save the date cards officially. I personally carry those in my wallet. You'll be somewhere, could be at a Guardians game, game 5 where they win. Whip your wallet out, your purse, carry those cards with you in the weeks and months ahead and give them to people. I mean, it's amazing. I ran into somebody just a few weeks ago. Buckingham had an open house. Great to see people again. And there's a gentleman, he was the one, Robbie Robinson. Does anybody know Robbie Robinson? So Robbie bought Don Nelson's business from somebody else. So whoever Don Nelson sold his business to, so his gym, I have all this miniature golf stuff. I have all this stuff. Come up to my warehouse. He's up by Costco. Mela, we're in, okay, big. And it's because I had a card on me, okay? I gave him a card. So we're already working on it. The regatta's got all that positive energy, and then we're jumping right into the 33rd. So great to see Stu, Roger. Stu, when we first started doing this, Stu was one of the golf course architects that would go out there at the Goodyear Air Dock hangar, and we would drill 63 holes. We had 7, 9-hole courses around the tarmac where that blimp is, and we'd be there Friday nights. That big light would be on the air dock, and we're out there drilling holes in the frozen ground. Now, somebody finally came up with the idea, why don't we get AstroTurf greens, put them in a semi, and just throw them down? Stu, what were we doing out there 33 years ago, right? So it's great to see some of our older, more mature golf course architects here, like Stu and Roger. Thanks again. Handouts. Everybody's got handouts on the tables. Checking this out. We need everybody's help as we kick this off, and we are literally at the end of October, so the ask needs to happen. If you know somebody that's interested, Mela, Amanda, Dan, yeah, thanks for all your help. I think about how this has evolved in 33 years, where it used to be just a bunch of Rotarians, but now we have staff and support and great help behind us. 98 years, right? 2 more years. I keep asking Mel. I keep thinking the 100th is next year, but we have 2 more years to go. What an amazing energy that's going to have. So I think everybody in here knows we've got that $350,000 goal, and we just look forward to working with everybody. Jeff, Cindy, thanks for your leadership, and let's kick it off. Let's go. Thank you.
No, thank you. I look forward to seeing you and all your support, really. So I can find these jackets too. So we're going to see them right now. Raffle tickets inside.
So where are your cards?
My cards are right here. Mel was just handing them out, so.
Oh, okay.
Luckily, I have my coat from last year.
No, they're not on the table. You can grab some.
Yeah, they're on.
Okay, all right, okay. I thought I missed something. Oh. Well, it's an exciting time. We look forward to hearing good things in the planning stages for our Chile Open. And again, thanks to everyone for coming today. It's so good to see some old faces that have come back. Yes, Jeff?
Linda, a little remiss, let's keep Cindy Kane in our prayers and thoughts.
Oh.
Recovering from COVID. So
Okay.
that's why she couldn't be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Again, Cindy Kane is not feeling well right now, and so we'll add her to our prayer list. So we certainly will keep Jenny and Cindy in our prayers. So again, Karen, do you want to mention real quick about the special board meeting next Tuesday, 11:30 here?
If you're a board member, Terry's gonna send an email, but a half hour before, we're just having a special board meeting.
Okay, so board members, 11:30 next Tuesday here in the boardroom. Very good. Any other announcements for the good of the cause? Again, please come back next week. We'll bring on a new Rotarian, so we want her to feel welcome. So look forward to having one here. With that, have a great day, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you for coming.
Very nice meeting you.